I want to put a pin in that and ask you about something else that's also strike related. Some breaking news moments ago, we learned about an 8th strike on an alleged drug boat. Where was the strike? What do you know about this, Charlie?
Yeah, so we're just getting the details because, as you mentioned, we just found out about it a few minutes ago. And unlike the rest of the strikes, the previous strikes that have happened in the Caribbean or Caribbean, this is on the Pacific side. So it's still the same region. It's still in that area of Southern Command. And it's still interdiction for suspected drug smugglers. We understand 2 to 3 individuals on board have been killed. We're not exactly sure where this happened because it could be any number of countries. It could be off the coast of Colombia or Panama or Ecuador for that matter. And these drug interdictions have been happening, I mean, for months, maybe years. Normally, the Navy and the Coast Guard working for these interdictions, but it's a reminder that we talk a lot about what's happening in Venezuela and around the Caribbean. This is also a project that under the SOUTHCOM or Southern Command area of responsibility, that includes the Pacific as well, because that little narrow strip of land, you have drug running from both sides. And kind of what's more significant about it, some critics have said that the Caribbean and the drugs that are being run or suspected to the drug runs are going to Trinidad and Tobago. Those would likely be headed toward Europe and Africa. On the West Coast, those are more likely to be headed to the United States via Mexico or Southern California. So if the idea is to stop drug running and rather than take a more militarized approach against Venezuela, you would want to concentrate on the West Coast.
Charlie, I'm going to ask you the question that I'd ask if you and I were sitting down for a beer, because it strikes me as we look at some of these videos that the military is really turning these around. They're clearing these for public view in a way that seems faster. We know you have decades of experience reporting on these things. Does it strike you as well the speed with which we go from strike to showing the American public about this? And what does that say overall about sending a message?
Yeah, Reed, you know, it's day of. You know, sometimes we get it a few minutes. We expect to get video from this latest strike. And we saw the last one, the 7th strike, was on a submersible. And, you know, I've been speaking to folks down at Southern Command. I've been speaking to the Navy. Who's responsible? How are these being waged? Certainly looks like a Reaper drone strike. And the kind of video would be shot from a drone footage. So that's just speculation. I mean, it's not just journalists who are trying to get to the information, trying to get the evidence. There are people on Capitol Hill that want to know more about these targets. But yes, this is all about the optics, and we talk a lot about Venezuela. We've even raised the question about regime change and Nicolas Maduro, who President Trump has stated there's a $50 million bounty for anything leading to his arrest. So there's a sense that this is pointed toward Venezuela and rising the heat. There are 7 battleships or warships in that region. There are F-35 fighter jets, 10,000 troops. It has become a militarized zone. The commander of SOUTHCOM departed, or he will be departing at the end of the year. That was a surprise decision. It was a 3-year term. He's going to be leaving after just 1 year. On December 12th, he's going to be resigning, so he'll be replaced. So there are a lot more questions than answers, but when it comes to optics, you talk about that video that's been released. That is all about showing force, and that's what you'll hear from Defense Secretary Hegseth and from the White House. And again, we expect to see that video of this latest strike this afternoon.
Charlie D'Agata waiting for that video. We know you'll turn it around quickly. Always great to talk to you, friend. You have a good day.